Welcome to the Two Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James.
And my name is Scott Cooper.
You know what's really weird is I don't have to say I'm one half of the Two Ton Nerds for once.
I know it's like a romantic comedy that's come full circle.
I don't know. It's just kind of like it's those words you hardly ever get to use in conversation when you're just dying to use them in conversation.
It's because you haven't found anybody to replace me, so you had to come crawling back.
Oh, crawling back. You're the one who's like, I'm going to talk to you later. I have something to tell you.
You don't know what happened.
No, I don't know what happened. Enlighten me.
It was fantastic. I've been busy these past few years, Max. I've been busy. As you know, I worked at Best Buy, the electronic capital of the world.
That superstore, right?
Yes, the gigantic superstore. We sell nothing but electronics and more electronics. And guess what else we sell? Electronics.
Shocker.
That's what we do, at Best Buy. But no, I've been busy. I met a wonderful woman. I love her very much. I have some beautiful children. So you can say I've done a complete 180 on you. In these past couple of years, I meant to definitely contribute more to the Two Ton Nerds site.
But I understand.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. But I finally found a moment in time, and soon to be more moments in time, to contribute, because now I'm getting my life in order, and I'm getting used to the just the busyness of it all, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, I can do this now. Check me out.
You're finding a balance.
Dad. Yeah, I'm a dad, damn it.
Okay, well, since I'm a regular contributor to this to our Two Ton Nerd Kingdom, there has been a lot of nerdy things that has happened since we have actually sat down and conversed about such nerdy / geeky things. Is there any particular ones that stick out in your mind?
Dragon Ball Super, Batman vs Superman, God of War 3 Remastered, Fallout 4 sticks out of my mind. E3 2015 was a complete debacle for Xbox because backwards compatibility is the only thing they have that really contribute to the world today. Nintendo decided to put out a big fart at their E3 conference and produce nothing new. Star Fox has no multiplayer online for it, so that makes me actually not want to play the fucking thing. And then we got to go into more detail when it comes to Comic-Con, because Marvel decided, hey, we're not going to show anything this year, guys, because we know that Batman vs Superman is going to proverbially put its fist in our ass and beat us up. That's about it in a nutshell for me.
Speaking of DC, how did you like that trailer? The Superman versus Batman Dawn of Justice trailer.
The Comic-Con one?
Whatever. Any of the trailers.
The first trailer that I saw was that little... I don't know what film industries are doing now, but they're doing trailers to trailers.
Oh.
Like Deadpool did one. I mean, they're funny, but it's like, you're coming out with the trailer in 2 days. I'm okay with a picture. You don't have to waste time with this. Make because DC did it. Zack Snyder did it with, like, he was showing the suits and stuff like that. It's like a 21-second teaser that got leaked. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
The first trailer that I saw, I liked what I saw. But at the same time, I couldn't really judge anything off of it. So when they showed the Comic-Con trailer, my balls grew hair on them.
For the first time?
For the first time, because I watched the most manliest thing ever. At least I felt like, because after that movie, I swear, like, that movie is the reason why I now want to date Ben Affleck. Or at least that trailer. Like, just, he looks ripped as hell in that. I like the tone they're going for. I really do. As everybody knows, I'm a huge Batman fan. I don't like Superman, but I did like Man of Steel, because I like Zack Snyder as a director, as long as he's not writing the script.
Case in point?
Sucker Punch. Because here's the thing with Sucker Punch, and I think we talked about this in an old review. You guys can find that on YouTube. Look it up if you're not busy, or if you're not, I really don't care.
Our Sucker Punch review.
Yeah, but the thing is with Sucker Punch is good movie, and I think we all agreed on that. But after hindsight, after watching, I was like, you know what? Zack Snyder cannot write a script that's coherent by himself. Like like scripts that he gets from other people, at least in my own opinion, like say the Watchmen script, or say like the 300 script. Stories are already written. He's able to take his own visual aesthetic design to it and make it awesome.
Or
But
Dawn of the
with
Dead remake.
yeah, the Dawn of the Dead remake. Yeah, I mean, did he pen that or
Nah,
did
the guy who wrote James Gunn, who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy, wrote that.
Okay, well, he has the ability to write a good script. James Gunn does. Now, I'm not saying Zack Snyder can't add his own feel to it, but Sucker Punch is very all over the place. It was awesome. It's very stylish, and it's a movie I still enjoy watching to this day. But when you compare it to his other movies, it's a little bit lacking in the good coherent story. Because I mean, look at The Watchmen. I know Alan Moore wrote The Watchmen and everything like that. Who I hate Alan Moore, but we'll get into that in some other time. Um, but Alan Moore, he wrote that story, and Zack Snyder was able to take it pretty much frame by frame, other than just a few things, and
I'm kind of glad they
it.
didn't do the squid ending.
Yeah, well, no, it couldn't have worked. It wasn't going to work out.
It wouldn't have
That
fit
way.
the movie. I mean,
Well, it's like all of a sudden, hey, there's a squid.
but
Yeah.
they kind of do have the squid in there. I think the way the acronym of the little bombs, it spells out squid. I think that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean that they give it a like, oh, hey, look, cool little Easter egg right
Yeah.
here. But I really enjoy the Watchmen.
As did I. I have
Yeah,
all three
and the,
versions of the movie on DVD and Blu-ray.
yeah, I know I've seen them. But no, but you see what I'm saying though. Like Sucker Punch, in comparison to those movies, like Man of Steel, like Watchmen, like his other comic book adaptations, like Dawn of the Dead. Sucker Punch is like it's last on the list for me. It's not the best, and of course that's a script that he wrote. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, so let's venture back to Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, which by the way I cannot stand the title of the movie, but I'm okay, I'm fine. Dawn of
Why?
Justice is
Why?
just terrible because like the thing with like DC is I've always liked DC because it's a more serious tone. So when you go Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, sounds like you're going back to like the '70s to when like Adam West was voicing, or the Adam West copy was voicing uh, Batman, and you had Casey Kasem voicing Robin. It like that's great and all, but now we have Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. I mean, you could have went with just Batman versus Superman. I'm okay with that. You didn't have to add Dawn of Justice. I know, and you like that's the thing about DC is there is not a person alive who's ever seen Batman or Superman and not know that they're part of the Justice League.
Okay.
I mean,
I have a. This is how I would. How? Okay. I'm going to interrupt you there for a second because I think DC should have done the reverse Marvel. Okay. As they should have started out with the big movie, like all the superheroes in him, and then at the end of the movie have them go their own way, and then have a little Easter egg, and then have the prequels. I think that would have been cooler to me, at least, because
it's kind of what they're doing in a way, because from what I've seen of their movie slate, it looks to be Batman vs Superman is the big one. Then they're doing Suicide Squad, which is introducing a lot of villains at once.
Yeah.
I'm actually, what's really funny, I'm more excited for Suicide Squad because that to me is an unknown factor. I think me and you both agree that Batman vs Superman, based upon that Comic-Con trailer, looks like it's going to be just absolutely fantastic.
Which one, Suicide or Batman?
Batman.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is one of those ones that looks like it could go either way, which is kind of how I felt about Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's like, okay, Guardians itself, I'll be honest, I didn't know who those characters were. I've heard of a few of them, obviously. I knew who Gamora was, but I didn't know who Drax the Destroyer was. I didn't know what Groot was. I didn't know there was a talking tree.
Or Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, I've heard the name before, but I never actually looked up the character. But watching that movie, obviously, you would be hard pressed to find somebody now who won't tell you. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is the best Marvel movie, and it was one of those ones that was really a big surprise for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think Suicide Squad has that same mystique about it.
Yeah, I do. I do have to admit, when Guardians, out of all the Marvel movies, Guardians is kind of like that blank spot in the thing.
Yeah.
It's like when you go from Captain America and Thor and all them, you know how they started out and what their motive is and motif and their style, and then Guardians is like, huh? There's a talking
Yeah.
tree and a raccoon in there. I mean, a talking
Yeah.
raccoon and a tree, and like, okay, how this doesn't make sense at all, and then it totally works on screen, you know.
And it does because of the chemistry the entire cast was able to create, and just the fact that I guess because it might have been so refreshing now that I think about it, because you didn't know who these characters were and you didn't know how the story was going to go. Because with Captain America, you know what happens. He's a scrawny little guy, he gets super soldier serum, and he somehow obtains a shield
Right.
some miraculous way. Thor is the son of Odin. He picks up a hammer. He's the greatest thing ever. Iron Man is a man in a suit, and Hulk just is a guy who's always pissed off. You know who those guys are. But the Guardians are just like, I don't know these guys, yet I like these guys.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they had to really put emphasis on the quality of that movie. I know it came out, a couple years ago?
It came out 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I actually was one of the ones who did not see it in theaters because I just didn't have the time. And
I've seen it twice.
Honestly, I just was like, I don't know about it. Everyone was raving about it. Rotten Tomatoes was like, oh my gosh, everyone's loving this thing. I'm like, you know what? Everyone also loved the Avengers. I have my own thoughts about that. Everyone also loves
Which one? Second or first one?
We'll talk about the first one. I've not seen the second one. I'm waiting on DVD for that one. I had the opportunity to go see that in theaters. I'll tell you why I didn't see it. It's because
I thought Age of Ultron was pretty good. I know a bunch of people are complaining about how Ultron was portrayed on screen and stuff like that, but I thought it was good. I thought him kind of having a villain with kind of a sense of humor or kind of not kind of have he was kind of charismatic in a way to me. It's like if you compare him to the villain of Loki from the first Avengers, they have, how do you want to put it? You've seen the trailers for Ultron, right?
Yeah, I know the ending and everything like that. I've read everything about the thing. I just haven't physically seen it yet. I mean, I was curious about it. I did want to see it, but it wasn't the reaction that everybody else had. And yes, there's been several people I've talked to who are just like, yeah, no, Ultron is terrible in the movie. It's not worth seeing. And from unanimously, everyone's favorite scene involves Hawkeye, which is quite funny. But apparently, I mean, that's one of the most comical scenes in the movie. And that's the other thing, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's why I don't want to see a lot of those movies, is because the fact that Marvel movies to me have become comical.
Well, no,
and that's okay. That's okay.
I got a little. I can back that up a little bit. I can add the other side of that coin. Okay, you've not seen it, right?
Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
No, you can spoil it away, though. I really don't care.
Okay. Well, there is a scene in the movie where he's talking. Black Widow is talking to the Hulk or Bruce Banner, and so they were kind of talking about this. They were kind of leading up to a relationship between the two characters because they are kind of
which I don't like. But go on.
Okay, I don't mind it. I thought it was fine because did you hear about what she revealed in the movie?
No.
Okay, well, the movie kind of took a dark turn there for a minute, and she kind of explained why she is the way she is because they were shown kind of training sequences in a way. They weren't really like Batman training sequences. They were just kind of flashback quick snippets. But they were talking, and she explained why Bruce and Black Widow are more alike than you think, and he can never have kids, and so Black Widow can't either because they do this one thing as the final where the final test basically is they sterilize her, and it was just the way it was told, the way she said it and the way it was like presented, it kind of was like, wow, that was kind of a dark moment in this movie.
But here's my question for you: was it a good moment?
Yeah, I thought it was because
Okay.
because you know how I am with my movies. I am like I rather have a movie with nothing but dialogue, and so with her talking about how she and her and the Hulk are more alike than you think, and like, okay, that's what I like.
Yeah, so pretty much Black Widow is Solid Snake, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and then she's like, well, she's just explaining that she can never have kids of her own because like the final thing was she was sterilized and the Hulk can't have kids either, so they're like the two um single people who aren't together. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, but here's my question. Not I'm not. I have this image in my head of the Hulk being in a relationship with anybody, and my question is what happens when he's in that final moment with that person, in bed with them, uh, and he gets angry. Like
all right,
I
you've seen the Incredible Hulk, right?
yes, I did with Jennifer Connelly and Edward Norton.
No, it's Liv Tyler.
Was it? Was Jennifer?
I think Jennifer Connelly was in the Hulk, the
Was she
Ang
in the
Lee
first
version.
one, the Hulk, like Hulk with Eric Bana?
Yeah, I think she was in
Was
that
that?
one. Liv
Was it
Tyler
Liv
was
Tyler?
in the
Yeah,
Incredible
I've
Hulk.
only I watched the movie in theaters. I watched it once, and I was
I've
just
seen
like,
it both
oh,
in
that's cool.
theaters too.
Yeah.
But anyways, like it's like if they would have kind of kept with that, with
Is
a, you know
Here's
how
my
it is. He's
I
like
got a
he
quick
can't get his
question.
heart beat up.
Is the Ang Lee Hulk canon?
See that I actually looked into it because you know how at the end of the first one he's in the jungle,
Yeah.
and then when the Incredible Hulk picks up he's in the jungle too, and it's
Yeah,
like,
they kind of already have his story established in the Incredible Hulk. Like,
right.
hey, there was another thing that happened, and we're not going to allude to it because it was so terrible and shitty, but it did happen. So
Yeah, I actually did look into that. I mean, I was watching Hulk the other day with my nephew, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize that this movie ends in the jungle. It's been a while, so I was like, oh, it ends in the jungle, and then I'm like, Incredible Hulk begins in the jungle, and it's like, or within like the jungle areas of South America. I do believe that's where it's at.
you know what was wrong with that first Hulk movie?
It was slow and no villain.
It was slow and it was way too damn long. Like, if that movie ended halfway in the movie,
No,
uh,
no. See, I like slow movies. I don't mind, but if it's a superhero movie, there has to be like Hulk. There pretty much had to be that one moment from the Avengers where when Captain America's like, Hulk smash, and then he just jumps on the building and just takes out the whatever it's called, the Satari. That's pretty much what that Hulk movie should have been.
oh, I agree with you because my favorite Hulk movie is my favorite Hulk moment is in the Avengers, and that's when he's slamming Loki down and he calls him puny god.
Uh,
I love that because that is the Hulk. And that's the thing, and this conversation is kind of cool because we're taking you from the transition of the terrible Ang Lee Hulk movie to the okay Incredible Hulk movie, and then the perfect Hulk transformation into the Avengers, and that's what I'm saying. I'm okay with the first Avengers. I did have a lot of issues with it and things like that, but to me, the couple reasons why I have not seen the Avengers 2 yet is one, uh, is some of the backlash from Ultron's character because I do like Ultron's character in the books. He is very sinister in the comic books. So my hope is that he was going to be more sinister in the movie. Only because of the fact that I have not seen the Avengers truly tested yet. Because in the first Avengers, it was kind of like a buddy cop film to me. It was like there was a lot of comic, there was a lot of action, there was bad cop, good cop stuff going on, and then there was just a lot of quick witty banter back and forth. And I never felt threatened. Like I never felt like I was going to lose one of these characters. I feel like Age of Ultron, when I heard the character himself was not anywhere near what he was like in the books, albeit maybe an interesting take on the character, I still feel like that, like I'm not going to lose anybody, but a mediocre villain at the end, and I'm probably right about that.
Well, the thing is, it's like, yeah, I think the villains have been slowly increasing. You know what I mean? It's like, who was the villain in what was the first Marvel movie? It was Ironmonger, right? With Jeff Bridges.
And you see, that's the thing is, I don't even know.
Okay, I'm telling you. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the second villain was Abomination. Then
Yeah.
Then Iron Man 2 was what, Whiplash?
Whiplash and whoever the hell.
Justin Hammer.
I can't remember. Yeah, Justin Hammer.
Yeah, so it's like the villains are slowly kind of getting better. It's like Ironmonger was just some guy who wanted to recreate the suit. Then Abomination is some guy who wanted to be like the Hulk because he was an aging soldier. And then Whiplash is just straight up revenge story. Yeah. And then what was that? Thor. His
is Loki. Loki's a true villain. Loki is my favorite Marvel villain on screen right now.
Yeah. Okay. Then, the Captain America was the Red Skull.
Red Skull, and we know who he is, and he's always been a great villain, and Hugo Weaving did a good job as him.
Yeah. And then then we're out of Phase 1, and Avengers. Avengers brings back Loki and the Centauri.
And I'm okay with Loki, and then. Really great with Thanos behind the scenes, but
hold on, Thanos isn't quite. Well, then it's like after Loki gets defeated for the second time, then it teases the big villain. It's like Thanos.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I love what they did with that.
And then what was the next movie? Iron Man 3, right?
Iron Man 3, which to me just had the terrible, did not get the same vibe from that movie as I did from the first Iron Man, which to me has always been the best Marvel movie, aside from Guardians of the Galaxy, because I felt truly threatened and I felt for the character.
Well, it's like I did like the second. I liked the third Iron Man a lot because it did, outside of the extremist storyline, it kind of showed that he can do stuff outside of the suit just as much as he can in the suit.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, Tony Stark is a overall great character. I mean, you see that he's very smart, very intelligent, just overall able to battle his own demons and get through his own little, his own little backstory and everything like that. Which I think is really funny because no one has ever really given a shit about Iron Man until Robert Downey Jr. played Tony Stark.
And I really think they should have kept the alcoholic storyline.
I think they should have too, because that was one of the bigger storylines involving Iron Man.
That's how I remember him.
He was a raging alcoholic.
Yeah, that's how I've always remembered Tony Stark / Iron Man.
Yeah, he's like Iron Man's biggest weakness was himself. That was the thing with Iron Man.
And then in the movies, I mean, I know they kind of did like the Iron Man is his addiction basically in the third one.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of going with, like, so his addiction is himself, or his addiction is that thrill, so.
And, his self-service, basically, and stuff like that. And then, or however you want to put it. Then, what was the villain in, what was Iron Man 3, then what?
Mandarin. And then you had Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, was next, right?
No, it was Thor.
Thor 2,
yeah.
Dark World.
Yeah, see, I actually like that because that's when they started. Is that the start of the Infinity Stones?
If I'm not mistaken, the Infinity Stones started with Captain America.
Yeah, with the Tesseract.
Yeah, but they really kind of got deeper into the Dark World.
Yeah, I did like the villain in that one because he was basically just. I liked him. I think they're getting bigger. That's what or kind of like more. You know what I'm talking.
I know what you're saying. They're getting more threatening, but that's my problem. Hearing this backlash of Ultron is that he doesn't sound like a very threatening villain. In the comics, he is one of the most threatening villains, and here it's kind of like Marvel does a 180 and says, "Hey, we have this." Because let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy real quick. Guardians of the Galaxy, I loved until the very end with the dance scene. I was not a huge fan of that. Because
it was just a quick gag. I thought it was.
it was funny, but watching the movie again in retrospect, I really wanted this big and they gave it to you, but the dance off just to me kind of ruined it. Like I love the everyone has to grab onto each other because we are the Guardians of the Galaxy, bitch. Love that, but the dance thing just kind of all of a sudden changed because like I said, I felt threatened in that movie because here is Ronan who is capable of destroying an entire planet.
But that's what
With
makes that thing so great is because the movie starts out with him dancing, basically.
I know. And like I said, I understand the point of the scene. It's just at that particular time, I'm just like, you know what? I just don't like that dance off right there. And the thing is that movie to me is a 9 out of 10. That's how much I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I enjoyed every bit of that movie, other than that one scene, because I was like, just not there. You could do it afterwards. You could you could do it, right here. But I was just like, maybe I felt like I kept on too long. I don't know. I just thought it was an awkward place to do it.
Okay, now, that's just in Marvel for a minute. And movies.
No, hang on. The Winter Soldier was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorites. That was a serious movie, and then they decide, hey, we're gonna backtrack and give you Age of Ultron, which we could have capitalized, made him a really dark villain. And then they're gonna give you Ant-Man with who's the villain in Ant-Man?
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. That's right. But my main point here is Marvel's villains. We'll talk about DC's villains in a minute, but Marvel's villains have always been direct copies of the other, like the mirror image right now of the hero. Like what you said with Iron Man, it was Jeff Bridges wanting to redo the suit. With the Incredible Hulk, the Abomination, who is like the Hulk. With Iron Man, each one of them is kind of a variation of himself. And then you have Captain America with Red Skull. I mean, kind of,
they're both war soldiers.
Yeah, they're both soldiers defending their own little nations, or getting their own self-gain. And then, I mean, you have Thor, Loki. I mean, those stories, or those two are timeless and things like that. And then you have Ant-Man with Yellow Jacket. I just feel like Marvel's.
I haven't seen Ant-Man yet, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Marvel's playing it too close to the chest when it comes to the villains. And the thing is, with Thanos, is we are still waiting. It is coming, but I feel like you have Captain America: Civil War coming out, and I feel like, oh, nobody cares about that because right after that is the Avengers: Infinity Gauntlet Part 1 and then Part 2. So
I think it's going to pay off well. I
hope so. With the addition of Spider-Man, it will be different.
Okay. Speaking of Marvel, there was a Marvel movie that came out this past weekend. Do you know which one that is?
A Marvel movie or a DC movie?
Marvel
that came out this past weekend? Oh. It wasn't...
or did it say it just didn't do very... doesn't have fantastic reviews?
So I know I say a lot of things about Marvel, but I will say that, every movie I watch of theirs is enjoyable. It is at least something to watch, and I will always advise, if you guys want to watch a good movie, you can watch a Marvel movie. That being said...
there's a certain franchise that kind of has a stigma of being bad.
When somebody writes a review and says, this makes the first two Fantastic Four films Oscar caliber, I don't know if I'm going to watch this or Kazam. I'm not sure.
We're alluding to the Fantastic Four, by the way. The new Fantastic Four.
And how could you do that to one of the first families in comics? Because, that's the thing. Okay, so awesome that you want to be, politically correct and create, Johnny Storm, a black Johnny Storm. I'm okay with that. That's cool. That's fine. But you didn't pull it off and execute it well. And then the Thing, I'm sorry, but I haven't seen the movie, but I'm going to gather from everything that I've read and everything that I've seen, the Thing looks to be very terribly rendered. And from what I was reading, he's CGI the entire time, and you can tell he's CGI. He looks like he was involved in a PlayStation 2 game. That's how awful the CGI is.
Okay. Anyways, that's just
better than him.
Leave Marvel alone for now.
Fantastic Four sucks.
Yeah, from what we've heard, we have not seen it firsthand though.
I will watch it, and the entire time I will be thinking about Kate Mara's boobs.
Well, you're a true patriot.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, let's flip the record over and let's talk about the other comic book, DC. We've talked about the trailer for Batman, and so let's talk about the games because the games for DC are fantastic, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple games they have, but yeah, I mean, so you can say Marvel has a cinematic universe, but DC has every other media taken care of, in my opinion. So let's talk about the games. So you have Arkham Knight that just came out, about a month and a half ago.
You had a little problem with that with one of the reviews, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, what was it? GameSpot I think had a really really terrible review of it. Because it kept like
it was a spoiler, wasn't it? It's like,
oh yeah. So there will be a spoiler for you if you have not played Arkham Knight yet or not heard anything about it. So you may want to turn down for just a second.
It's been a month, so
I know how some people are.
I know. I'm just saying. All right.
Mark Hamill reprised his voice role as the Joker in this game. And for those of you that know, Mark Hamill announced his retirement at the end of Arkham City when the Joker died. And, you know, I legitimately thought that we may never hear his voice again as the Joker.
Yeah.
You'll hear him as the Trickster, which is close to the Joker. But you won't hear him anymore as the Joker. Yeah. And IGN ruined that for me. And they didn't seem to think it was a big deal, and there was a lot of backlash from it. And, like, because I was reading the review, and it said spoiler-free review, and then it said, and Mark Hamill's back reprising his role as a Joker, and I was so upset because that is something, and how the game presents it in the way is that's a total, hey, here you go.
Yeah, okay.
This to the max. This is awesome.
Because I didn't get spoiled the spoiler of him returning because I kind of stayed away from it 110%. So there's a scene in the game where you're at Ace Chemicals and Batman is trying to neutralize the fear toxin or the blast radius, isn't it?
To nullify the blast radius. Yeah.
So to just over Ace Chemicals. And the fear toxin is kind of taking its toll on him as he's trying to prevent all this. And then as you're about to complete it or did complete it, I can't remember.
You're getting ready to put the last canister in.
Yeah. Then it's like he kind of turns around and then there's the big reveal that Joker's standing there pointing a gun at him. And it was like, since I wasn't spoiled, and that was a good moment, you know what I mean? It was like, yes,
yeah,
that's so cool. And then him constantly showing up throughout the game as
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so I was like, oh man. And then after then I as soon as I beat it, I had to ask you what was that problem you had, and when you told me, like, oh man. That would have been. I hate that. It's like I put that on par with the Shelby being the origami killer from Hard Rain.
Yeah, and it's something. Me being a huge Batman fan, it's like I felt like it was taken away from me, and I have not even been on IGN for the most part since that. Like I've just been that upset, and I think since then they've changed their review to edit that out of there because so many people were upset by that. Because there was no indication. They Rocksteady and Warner Brothers kept that quiet as could be. Because they even did like voice casting trailers and things like that, showed you the entire cast, and they did not show you that Mark Hamill was in it. And we all thought Mark Hamill was busy as hell doing Star Wars, so it was kind of surprising.
Yeah, because it was a very genuine moment for me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
when that moment is pretty intense by itself, because it's like, how is he going to get out of this? And then Joker kind of shows up out of nowhere, and it's like, okay, what's going on? Why is he here? And then I realize that it's fear toxin, and he's just kind of playing off being dead, and it's like, let me take over and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that was pretty cool.
for those of you who haven't played it, Arkham Knight has a really, really good story. Probably better than anything I've seen in a cinematic universe so far when it comes to a story. That being Marvel or DC.
But but also Batman 3, Dark Knight Rises, and Arkham Knight kind of have a very predictable moment. You know what I mean?
About the ending, or
no, like the reveals. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? It's like in Dark Knight Rises, you knew who,
Talia al Ghul was.
yeah, who you knew from like the first time she was.
I know what you're saying with the Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
When she when you first seen her on screen, you know, like we already know. Okay. But then then in Arkham Knight, there was some good guessing going on for a good while. It's like, who is this? Who could it be? And then the moment I figured it out is when they started doing the Joker Robin hallucinations,
which I loved.
No, those were great, but that's also, it was like, it's starting to allude that Joker may be lying.
Yeah. The main thing though is to remember is that we're going into this with prior knowledge of who these characters are.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that don't have any clue. I think the main thing that gave it away to me that the Arkham Knight was actually Jason Todd was the fact that GameStop said, "Hey, we have Red Hood DLC." So I'm like, oh, so he's instantly established in this universe, because if you previously remember, Jason Todd was not mentioned in Arkham Asylum or Arkham City or Arkham Origins. I don't think.
He was mentioned at least once, wasn't he?
I don't believe so. I honestly don't think he was.
No, I think there was a moment where he's like,
I think he's the one. He says something to Robin, says, "I don't want to lose," or something. He alludes to the fact that he may have lost to Robin beforehand, but his name was never mentioned. No,
I thought he did.
If he did, I don't remember it, and it wasn't anything that was set in stone for me. Yeah. So I honestly don't remember. I'll have to do some further research on that to see if maybe it was something was said.
It's like, okay, the reason I think it, I know he did it because he says Jason at least once. I think. I'm like, I have no idea why. I'm thinking maybe I'm just thinking of 3, but I know he doesn't say nothing about it in Origins, which I thought was a pretty good game.
It's all right. It was better than some people said it was.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, back to then what was the other DC game?
I've been playing Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, and I will tell you something. I don't like Lego games, but that one was pretty damn good. and the thing was, it was lighthearted, but it had the serious undertones that Batman has.
I've yet to play.
There was just so many playable characters. I mean, I got to play as the Green Lantern, who is Daffy Duck as a Green Lantern. Just fantastic fan service.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah, he's in that.
That's great.
Yes, voiced by the guy that does Daffy Duck as well. And
new Daffy Duck or old Daffy Duck?
New Daffy Duck, like Duck Dodgers and things like that. So I mean,
I think Mel Blanc did.
Yeah.
But I think he's dead.
I think he's Mel Blanc's dead, but Mel Blanc Jr. or the Mel Blanc, I think is one continuous person who just keeps getting a new name. I don't know, but no, Lego Batman 3, really, really good. And then you look in like respect there, like, okay, so let's look at Warner Brothers right now though, for video games. So it may not be DC, but they've got, they've had Mortal Kombat this year. They've had The Witcher 3 this year.
I haven't played any of those.
What's that?
I haven't played either one of those.
Great received games. So they're big into publishing now. So I mean, obviously, I think you're going to see more DC games with these superheroes. So I would not be surprised, because apparently Warner Brothers Montreal, the team that actually did Arkham Origins, is rumored to be doing a Superman game.
Yeah,
which I hope it's as good as Superman 64. But no, I mean, they're rumored to be doing a Superman game, which I'm really interested to see how that's going to be done, because I I've always thought a Batman game could be done well, but I never thought a Superman game. And I still to this day don't think a Superman game can be done well because, like, unless you're going to make every villain hit him with kryptonite, I just can't believe him dying. Like, even Lego Batman, Superman's invincible. Like,
Well,
he can't get
they
hit.
could start it out like him right in the middle of Battle of Doomsday. You know what I mean?
And that's something that could happen. But the thing is, though, is you're going to have those regular villains in there, and those regular guys he's going to stop. Now, one thing you may go into is you got to like time limit stuff. I can see, but I mean things like I mean, you got to make it really hard on the guy, and that's unfortunate, but you have to.
It can be pulled off. I mean, think about how well, there is some pretty powerful superheroes. Super villains to take on Superman. You got Brainiac, and then you got
Brainiac, most overrated DC villain. All he does is shrink things.
You mean or three things?
No, all he does is shrink things. He makes things smaller. That's all he does. That to me, because like even in the Justice League or the Superman movie with Brainiac in it, like I was like, okay, cool, Brainiac's really strong, and he's supercomputer and everything like that. But he just shrinks shit. That's all. He just makes shit smaller and keeps it as collection.
Then isn't that how did the Lost City of whatever get shrunk?
Andor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shrunk it and he kept it with him.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because he shrinks shit. That's what he does. He shrinks cities and puts them on display because he's sick. He's a sicko.
Oh, God. Okay, let's get away from comic books for a minute. Okay. Have you done anything? I'm trying to think about Deadpool. Oh, we have to talk about the Deadpool trailer.
You said no comics.
Well, fine. We'll go back to comics since we haven't talked about anything in a good while.
That's the big thing these days is comic book movies. I mean, I'm sorry, but you can't look at anything else right now other than Star Wars.
That's until Christmas.
Yeah, you can't look at anything other than Star Wars right now and go, all the other big movies are comic book movies. I mean, like the big movies like beforehand, like the disaster movies. I mean, take a look at the San Andreas with The Rock this year. That movie 5 years ago would have been huge because it's a disaster movie. Disaster movies have always been huge, but now it's the age of the comic book film where they are ruling everything. I mean, other than Jurassic World, which was really good, everything else has always been. Everything else is either just it's a comic book movie now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what Fox is doing with the Power Rangers. I mean X-Men.
I like the X-Men movies.
I like the X-Men movies as well, but I will tell you that I'm not a huge fan of.
That's the thing. I am more I'm kind of more invested in the X-Men movies than I am the Marvel movies or the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they've been around longer. That's a plus.
They have. I mean, the thing I like about it is that X-Men, and I love my favorite's First Class.
Well, the thing is they are a little grittier and darker.
They are, and I like that about them. And X-Men's always been that way. And the really cool thing about them is that they were able to completely redo the terrible third movie.
But the thing is, even that movie it fits within the world. You know what I mean?
It does, but I mean,
storyline wise and stuff like that is terrible. But they practically, I like the whole cure thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's really the only natural thing to where it was building up to, because like you had the first one, the mutants are kind of starting to come out. And the second one was Wolverine's story, basically.
Which X2 X-Men United to this day, outside of First Class, is one of my favorite comic book movies because it was the first time I saw one of my childhood heroes fully enveloped on the screen, and that was Wolverine, and just him stabbing stabbing that guy in the chest
Who?
just fully. Just one of the soldiers that was invading the house. I don't know, but he just got really mad. You saw Hugh Jackman get angry and just stab him right in the chest, and I was just like, I almost got up in the theater and clapped because I was like, "Thank you. This is what I want to see." And you got to think that was like what 2003, 2004.
I have no idea when. I'm not very good with years.
That movie still stands up very well.
Yeah.
Terrible X-Men Origins movie. God, that was awful. I don't know what's worse, X3 or X Origins. At that point, I thought.
Okay,
yeah.
I will tell you what. I will give you the worst one. It is Origins. The only reason why is that movie seemed so
out of sorts.
No, not out of sorts. It just seemed very incoherent.
Yeah, I mean, you established something previously in the X.
No, not even that. It's just like jumping the places. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, I love the beginning.
Yeah, the first half of the movie was excellent.
I mean, like when up to where Wolverine leaves the little unit, the little team, and then that's probably where it kind of disappears. You know, it's like where they're trying to get him back and to become Weapon X and whatever. Or after he becomes Weapon X, I think that's where the movie kind of falls short because they're picking off people left and right. And I mean, all the acting was pretty decent, but it was just like the special features, the special effects was just god awful on that one.
Oh yeah. I even watched a pre-cut of the movie where the special effects were taken out.
Yeah,
and
the work print
was the work one, and it was like just my god, just everything was like terrible. I mean,
like that's why I think that's why Origins is worse, is because they just expected it to work when it didn't, and then what's it called? What's 3 called?
The Wolverine?
No, 3.
Oh, Last Stand.
Yeah, Last Stand. It just works because it has the same consistency with the first 3. The first 2, I meant.
I don't know. It just smells like Brett Ratner. It just smells like Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner isn't bad as everyone puts him out to be. He really isn't.
When he's directing Rush Hour movies, he's fine. But then I've not seen the Wolverine.
I thought it was pretty good
because of how terrible the Origins was.
Nah, you should give Wolverine a shot. You really should.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, speaking of crappy CGI, did you see the motion picture TV event of the year?
I did not see Sharknado 3.
Oh, come on. Chris Jericho was in that movie.
I've not watched any of the Sharknado movies. I'll be honest with you.
You are missing out.
I'm good, I think.
Oh.
I like the premise of it. It's really good, but it's one of those movies where it looks like I will watch the first 5 minutes, laugh, and then I will make an excuse to leave the room.
and forget to come back.
Yeah.
It's like, why did I leave? Oh, yeah. And then you walk in the room, like, sharks are on the screen. Oh, yeah. I'll just leave again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's Sharknado.
Can I tell you the worst movie I've seen in a long time, and I watched it just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So I'm a huge fan of Joe Dirt, and I don't know. You've seen the original Joe Dirt, I know you have.
Oh yes.
Yeah, really good. I like the first Joe Dirt. First Joe Dirt was very good. I won't say it's cult movie status.
I think it does. I don't think it did very good at the box office.
It didn't, but a lot of people liked the movie, and not like I consider like a cult movie like Rocky Horror Picture Show like has this like esteemed cult. Like there's nobody wearing the Joe Dirt hairdo or anything like that. Like you know what I mean? But it's a movie that a lot of people enjoy, and Comedy Central has run into the ground to the point where everyone in the world has seen it. So when I heard that Joe Dirt 2 was going to be made, I got kind of excited, and I saw that it was Happy Madison, Adam Sandler, David Spade. We're going to work on it. I was kind of weirded out because Crackle was going to be the one who was picking it up.
Yeah.
So But I was like, hey, that's cool. They want everybody to see their movie for free. And then I turned the movie on and I noticed why it was on Crackle. Um, I will tell you that I enjoy hammering my own head in more than I did that movie. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it or even watched any part of it yet?
No, I've seen the trailers. That's about it.
Um, there's a scene in the movie where, and mind you, I shut this off halfway, not even halfway through. And I watch a lot of stupid shit. I watch a lot of stupid movies.
Yeah.
This movie literally took the heart and soul out of Joe Dirt and tried to do something with nothing. Not just like it was like I wanted a sequel to Joe Dirt. It could warrant a sequel. It's a funny enough concept. But there was just so many forced gags.
Oh,
And,
really?
Like, I just realized that fart jokes aren't as funny anymore in some things. And there's one gag in there, and it goes on for at least 10 minutes. That I almost shut it off there. And then there's a lot of really terrible dialogue.
Well,
What's really funny is David Spade doesn't seem to be too bad in the movie. He's actually the only him and Brittany Daniels are the only redeeming qualities. The supporting cast is absolutely atrocious.
okay. Well, what the best movie you've seen in a good while?
That's any type of form, live action, animated,
anything,
or
any genre, any animated, non-animated, claymation. So just a play. I don't care.
Gumby. No, let's see. I will have to say the movie I enjoyed recently, just this past month or so, was Justice League: Gods and Monsters.
Oh, the animated movie?
Yeah, the one with Bruce Timm. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Good. It's a really good movie. Surprisingly, I'm not going to spoil anything for you from it. Just know that Superman is Mexican.
Okay. Why they just colored his skin a little darker?
No, he has a. So I don't know if you've watched the trailers at all, but Superman has a little bit of a different origin in this movie.
Oh no.
So yeah, he has a different origin in this movie. I'm not going to tell you that part of it, but I will tell you that instead of landing in the farm fields of Kansas, he lands in a farm field. But Mexican immigrants pick him up and drive away with him.
Okay. You're mine now.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this thing is shiny.
Okay. Oh, I guess I'll do my best and worst. My worst is... I have no idea. I've actually been kind of lucky. Haven't really seen a bad movie here lately. But I do have a bunch of good ones I've seen.
Well, that's good.
Have you seen... what was it? Have you heard of A24 Films?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, here lately, they have been releasing some really, really good movies. These are the same people who released Spring Breakers, with James Franco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. They also did. Have you seen any trailers for Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Talking good things about that.
Yeah, that's a great sci-fi robot movie. It really is. And then I also watched Slow West. It has Michael Fassbender in it, from Magneto from X-Men.
Magneto.
Yeah. This movie
And
this movie is supposed to be really kind of slow, but I didn't think it was slow at all because there's some really good moments in this movie. And I do have to point one out is that these two guys, Michael Fassbender and this one of the people who was up for the new Spider-Man role, he are traveling across the West to find the girl that he loves, and Michael Fassbender kind of has a hidden motive. So they're crossing these woods, and he just cuts to him, and he's like, "That's a shame. That's a shame." And then it cuts to this tree on the ground, and you see two skeleton arms on either side of the tree, and with an axe in the hand, and it was like, oh, it's so cartoony, you know. In the cartoons, that's what it looks like. But it's like it fits it well. Then I watched Cut Bank. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Have you ever seen Fargo?
The one in like the 90s?
Yeah, the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
It feels very like that movie, but it's good. I liked it. And then I also watched A Most Violent Year. So that was pretty good. It's a mob movie. It's a slow mob movie, but it has some good moments in it. So I watched 4 good movies here lately.
Yeah, I typically don't have a lot of time for movies. I mean, I usually catch movies a year after everybody else watches them. I mean, I watched The Wolf of Wall Street not too long ago. I enjoyed that. That was good. That was really good.
Or a movie that's been out for 10 years, 12 years. Wait, Hot American Summer.
Yeah, I watched that for the first time, and I will say that it was a totally different vibe what I was expecting. I was expecting this like American Pie type deal, but it was totally not that at all.
Yeah.
It was a nice 80s spoof of anything 80s. I would say my favorite part is the ending, not like because it's over, but because was it Janine I can't remember her name. Garofalo, yeah, whatever. Has this great interaction with the astronomer guy, and it like they had one night together. Oh, you're already pregnant. Just like really stupid stuff, but really funny. And then I mean, just really.
And the cook, you know, how he accidentally reveals a bit of more information.
Christopher Melania in that is absolutely fantastic with the little can of vegetables that talk to him. And it's just like, I'm gonna go smear mud on my ass. What? Like he just like, I think the best scene in that movie is just when he's talking about that and Paul Rudd just goes, yeah, like that yes, awesome.
I think my favorite running gag. That movie has a lot of running gags, but my favorite running gag in that movie is when someone throws something off screen and it has that.
You hear the Wilhelm scream, yeah.
No, that little
like a vase shatter.
Yeah, the vase shattering thing. Even when it's something soft, you still hear that like classic sound. And I'm like, oh my god.
That movie is a representation of what it means to have a bunch of people that just want to have fun, make a movie.
Right.
Because like the whole scene where they're oh, she's going into town, awesome, and it's just like just terrible drug rock and roll sex infested scene, and it's like, oh, it was okay.
Yeah, they get back in the perfectly okay.
It's like an hour, yeah. So it's just like a lot of funny stuff in that movie. I wish I would have watched it sooner, but at the same time, I'm glad I got to watch it. You know, like a different take on it. You know, I'm a lot older than I was then. So,
have you watched First Day Camp?
I've not had a chance to yet. No, okay. I do want to check it out.
Oh my god!
I want to watch the movie again to kind of look at the stuff I missed.
Oh man!
And then I
had to rewatch
First Day Camp.
I watched First Day Camp. I binge watched it all like in one night, and then I was dying laughing because I got most of the jokes because I remember the movie. And then I went back and watched the movie. Then I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't catch it that first time around." When they said something like that in the series on Netflix, it's like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Speaking of Netflix shows, Netflix is just where it's at when it comes to high quality entertainment these days.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the House of Cards?
I have watched majority of the first season, and I tell you what, I'm a really slow watcher when it comes to things. I'm still in the second season of Lost, but I really enjoy House of Cards. Kevin Spacey's performance is absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
I've enjoyed what I've seen.
What about Orange is the New Black?
I'm not a huge fan of that. My wife is. She absolutely loves it. I've watched a few episodes. I can't really get into it. I kind of find the characters annoying, I'll be honest. But I do see the appeal of the show to a lot of people.
Then what's your favorite Netflix original show then?
Daredevil. hands down.
Oh yeah, bring it back to our original topic.
Yeah. Well, you didn't. I didn't really talk about Daredevil, and I kind of wanted to save that
because I kind of forgot about it.
Daredevil, I binge watched, and that's kind of shocking for me because, like I said, I usually don't have a lot of time to watch things like that. But
we'll save Daredevil for another time.
Yeah, I can go into a huge thing about that, but I just want everyone to know that was a great show. Okay. Episode 2, wow.
Haven't sat down and done one of these podcasts in a good long time. Is there what's the one thing that you want to say that you liked or hated more than anything?
Yeah, let me think about this for just a minute. Something that I hate, probably, because I'm not a very positive person.
I mean, it could be from a trailer or from I know, or what's it called? Music, book, TV, or anything that's happening in the news or something.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that pisses me off. I don't know what the hell a Meek Mill is.
Yeah,
I don't know why it keeps showing up in my Facebook feed. Oh, no, okay. Nor do I care.
Okay, I'll tell you my favorite. I'm gonna tell you right now. It was on wrestling, WWE Monday Night Raw. It was right after Machine Gun Kelly's performance.
Yeah, motherfucker got powerbombed. That was awesome.
When Kevin Owens came out and powerbombed him off the stage, I thought that was
it was great. The thing that people missed about that was the powerbomb wasn't the thing that I loved. It was how he grabbed him. He just straight up grabbed the shit out of him and was just like, "You are mine. We are selling this thing," and you were going full force with that because I think there was a bunch of pillows and boxes at the bottom.
It could have went wrong big time.
It could have been. Machine Gun Kelly's 20 pounds, if even that.
Wet.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, I like that. That was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't really have I can't really think of a worst moment. There's a lot of stuff that pisses me off. I mean, I don't like the fact that it's something we haven't talked about. I hate Stephen Colbert, and I hate the fact that he's going to be doing the late or the night show.
Oh, yeah.
Or the late show on CBS. I can't stand him.
No, I think it should have been someone else. I mean, I like
Steve. I think it should have been me. In all honesty, I sent my resume in for that, and I thought, I had a good shot for it. No, I mean, I thought Jon Stewart deserved another shot at something like that. I mean, I know he had a daily show.
Yeah.
But I remember he was on was he on ABC a long time ago?
I have no
idea. I thought he had a late night talk show, if I'm not mistaken, before Jimmy Kimmel.
I have no idea.
I don't know, and I don't know. I'm enjoying Jimmy Fallon though. Oh my God, he's hilarious. I love me some Jimmy Fallon.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, can't think of anything.
I'm trying to think. I like the new Captain Crunch things at Taco Bell. Those are delicious.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten. Okay. Well, that was our podcast for the return to again, I guess.
The return 210 Nerds to back to Nerdland. I don't know.
Okay. As always, my name is Max James.
And my name is Scott Cooper.
And we're going to go geek out. Bye-bye.